This place is just superb for the birds. And these estuaries are as good as it gets for an osprey. It's full of mullet and bass and so forth. The thing that's lacking is a population of ospreys who regard it as home. There's ospreys in Scotland, Northern England, Rutland, Wales, but there's a big yawning gap in southern England. So this project is a way to restore ospreys to an area that they should be breeding in and that they'll be very successful in.
The science tells us the natural expansion of ospreys across the UK is very, very slow. The males tend to only nest where they themselves were raised. So what we're doing is a bit of proactive conservation, investing in an A species future to hope kind of the long-term survival of osprey in the Western Europe region.
The role of the Roy Dennis Wildlife Foundation is basically to choose the birds that we actually want to move. So we've got a special licence from Scottish Natural Heritage that allows us to take birds from areas that are carefully monitored and have been so for decades. So we can take a single bird from a brood of 2 or 3, or in some cases if we need to, 2 birds from a brood of 3. So we always leave at least 1 chick in the nest. It's important to take really strong, healthy chicks, and that's what we did. And then very quickly, as soon as possible, brought them down when the roads were quiet in the evening and early morning, down to Poole Harbour. The birds were put in the pens as quick as possible. The idea really from now on is to minimise human contact as much as possible, because these birds are wild birds. We don't want them to be habituated to people at all. We want them to migrate to Africa in a few weeks' time and then come back and breed.
So this is the caravan, and this is where all the monitoring and all the really important kind of observational work takes place. And this is Brittany. So Brittany's in charge of managing our team of volunteers over the course of the project. And at the moment, we've got our CCTV set up, so we've got cameras in each of the 3 pens, and we can monitor the osprey chicks, 24/7, which is what Brittany's doing at the moment.
I'm making notes currently on things like number of wing flaps that they're doing, whether they're feeding well, and then at the end of my shift I will transfer this onto this little sheet and we'll fill one of these out every day, and then we can look back at this and know that they're doing really well.
Actually, this part of the operations is not possible without a really good solid team of volunteers. We have got a really good team.
So we've got a team of 8 volunteers. They're all locals, really keen birders, and we're really lucky to have everyone on the project.
So the other thing we've got in here is a fridge, which comes in very handy because we've got a 24-hour supply of fish. This is all prepared, so the volunteers cut it into osprey bite-sized pieces, and that's really important because that just guarantees that it's really easy for them to eat. It does give the caravan a certain aroma though.
And a project like this really kind of lets people get involved in a really kind of community way by monitoring the birds, coming to see the birds, learning about the birds' biology. We've had some fantastic help from local companies as well. Already it's got that community feel, people wanting to get involved. We've already received financial donations to help the project. It's just thanks to everyone that's been involved so far.
.426.
That's the longest wing, I think. Yeah.
That's fat. Yeah. That's really an excellent order, that. we're just excited to see what happens over the next, well, couple of 3 hours. You know, which birds are going to go first, and yeah, exciting times.
But we're just keeping everything crossed now for all the birds. They have a safe and happy first flight, and yeah, can't believe it's actually come to
We're
this
off,
now.
yeah,
So yeah,
long time coming.
I want to cry, and I'm not sure if it's tiredness, relief, or just joy that they're okay and they didn't just fly out in a big mess of feathers. But I'm just excited to see what they do today, but we could be sitting around for quite a long time.
Lots of head bobbing going on there. Wow.
one's gone.
Flew. That was LS.
7.
Or 7.
Yeah.
We've got a fledged bird, thank God.
Have you phoned Tim just to make sure it's on and see where it is?
Yeah. Tim, one has gone. It's on the front of the pens, is it?
Yeah, you can
Oh,
just
I can
see
see
them
it as well.
flapping.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've put tail-mounted transmitters on all of the birds, and that means we can follow virtually their every move. And what we're suggesting is that at least once an hour it's worth just doing a full circuit, go through the whole set of birds and note down the direction that they're or you're getting the strongest signal from. We've still got a long way to go, so we're only in year 1 of a 5-year project. This year we've got 8 birds down here in Dorset. Next year we're going to have 14. Year after that, 12 birds every year for the next 3 years until the end of the project. So we're only at the very, very beginnings. It means a huge amount. It means everything for the area. This project is going to be absolutely pinnacle in terms of education. You know, this is something schools can really, really get behind. This is something that the community can really, really get behind. When, not if, but when our birds start arriving back in the next kind of 4 or 5 years and they start nesting, and we've got nesting ospreys here somewhere, that is going to be probably the biggest buzz that any birder can kind of get, really. You know, to see a conservation story or a conservation project that you started suddenly come into fruition at the end, you know, that's going to be the big one, I think. So yeah, enjoy it.